Do it with no hands.
Watch me twerk it for your man, cause he throw hella bands. He like it when I'm on the pole, I do it with no hands. I'm getting money, other bitches, they don't stand a chance. Twerk, twerk for them dollars, I don't want your man. You know it's JennyGang, still winning, ain't shit changed. I'm in the muscle car, you see me in the fast lane. You know I do my thing, 20 years. Yo, JennyGang, what it do? So we are back. And before I get started, go ahead and like this video, share this video once you finish watching it, and comment on my commentary. So we're gonna take a break from the tummy tuck breast augmentation vlogs and get into a horror story. I know that the ladies are loving those vlogs, but the fellas are probably like, so today I'll do something for both of you guys, but I will drop another vlog on my surgery and everything. Probably maybe I'll drop that tomorrow. I'll make it tonight and drop it tomorrow because I'm still in Miami. Thought I was going home Saturday. Today is Sunday and I can't go home until Tuesday because of these. So let's talk about human beings, right? Us, or you guys, because I think I'm supposed to be on Mars, but I guess I'm a human being too. Human beings, some are nice, some are mean, some are friendly, some are smart, some are dumb, some are educated, some are uneducated, some have good hearts, some have black hearts, some will give you the shirt off of their back, some will rob you blind, some are righteous, some are evil. So this particular horror story is going to be about an evil person and a person that is the opposite of her, that is righteous. Or I won't say righteous, but I'll say this lady had a pretty good heart, okay? Her heart was a good heart, and the person we're talking about, Miss Vivian Mitchell, she had a black heart, okay? So one thing that I never, ever do, and I don't think I ever have done, and I don't think I ever will do unless it's somebody I know, and I might still not do it, but I don't pick up hitchhikers. And the reason why I don't pick up hitchhikers is because of that brief description that I just gave about human beings. You can't look at anybody and tell whether they're righteous or evil or smart or dumb or mean or friendly. You cannot look at a person and determine all of that. Sure, there is something called, what's that word I use a lot about myself? The spirit of what? Hold on, guys, I'm having a brain freeze. Discernment, yes. There is something called discernment where you can feel vibes, but sometimes even those are off. Not a lot, but sometimes those are off. And if you're picking somebody up, you might not even have time to even read their vibe, you know? They can maybe fake a good vibe until they get in a car with you, and then a few minutes later, once it's too late, they start showing their real vibes, you know? What are you going to do then? Put them out? So the righteous lady we're talking about is a lady named Lynn Weis. She's an older lady, and she stayed in Dundee, Illinois. I'm not even sure where Vivian was from, but obviously somewhere around that area or that, you know, place. So Lynn Weis was a nice lady who was just driving along the highway and seeing Vivian walking. Not that it matters, but when Geminis, when we tell stories, we like to give visuals. I don't know why we do that. Like I might say, hey, my homegirl, and when I'm talking to you about my homegirl, I'll say, hey, she's short, she's got this kind of hair, she's like, I just have to do that. So I just want to talk about the colors. The lady who was picked up, or the demon that was picked up, is Vivian. She's a light black woman, but older, just like Lynn. And Lynn is an older white woman. There's not a lot of coverage on this story for some reason, just like there's no photos of Lynn anywhere. So I don't know their exact ages. Sometimes I like to talk about that, but these were older women. So, and this happened in 2003, by the way, on a Monday. So Lynn was nice enough to pick up the hitchhiker, which was a woman, Vivian. And Vivian said that she just needed to ride 10 minutes up the street, you know, up the highway. So the YouTuber that I seen do the story, he wanted to note that if Vivian only needed to go 10 minutes up the road, that really wasn't a long way for her to walk. Now, we don't know how long she had been walking, but that wouldn't have been too much more for her to go. She could have sat on the highway and took a little break if she was tired or whatever. But Lynn picked her up. So that was Lynn's first mistake, obviously. You don't pick up hitchhikers. Unfortunately, you just cannot trust people. It's not entirely impossible for you to help a person out by picking them up and them be a good person. It's not entirely impossible, but it is unlikely. So that was Lynn's first mistake. Now, while she's driving along, driving Miss Vivian, going to take her 10 minutes up the road, she done her second mistake, gang. She points out off the highway. She shows Vivian, oh, that's where I stay over there in that house. She stayed in like a little farmhouse that was like either on top. I hope it wasn't on top, but I think it said the house was on top of a cemetery or like right next to the cemetery. But at any rate, you could see it from the road when she was driving Vivian. So Vivian was paying attention. Vivian like, okay, that's your house? Okay, cool. So they got to the destination. Lynn drops her off. Everything should be fine and dandy, right? Cool. Picked up a hitchhiker, didn't get hurt, didn't get beat up, didn't get cussed out. That went well. Wrong. So Lynn goes back home minding her business. I think it was pretty early in the day when that happened. Remember, it's not a lot of coverage, but just listening to the story, that's what I assume. It was kind of, daytime and stuff. So later on that night, Lynn is at home. She's hearing noises, but she actually called the cops. They came. They didn't see anything. So she chopped it up to, I'm just hearing noises. Nothing going on. But something was going on, JennyGang. Someone was lurking in her home, and that someone actually ended up murdering Lynn, the sweet lady who was nice enough to pick up the hitchhiker. And not only did they murdered her via stabbing, and they stabbed this lady 90 times. Almost seemed personal, because that's overkill. When you stab somebody like that, you ain't gotta stab nobody 90 times to kill them, especially not a fragile lady, like Lynn. So this evil monster that stabbed Lynn to death like this was Miss Vivian Mitchell, the light-skinned older lady that Lynn had dropped off earlier, the hitchhiker, the ones that you don't pick up. Y'all, people ain't S-H-I-T, okay? She was nice enough to pick you up, take you where you need to go. Granted, she did talk too much, because not only do you not supposed to pick up strangers on the highway, you definitely don't tell them where you stay. So Vivian stabs Lynn 90 times, kills her, of course. She steals her car, bank cards. Lynn, this was a Monday. So Tuesday, Vivian went to the casino. This is in Illinois, remember? She went to the casino, spent 14 grand of Lynn's money, off her cars and stuff like that, gambling at the casino. So then she goes, I guess she's taking a nap, she's tired or whatever. Now, I don't know why, if she could spend 14K in the casino, why she just couldn't go buy her a hotel room. But maybe that was going to be an issue when it came to identification, So she went in the car, I guess parked it somewhere, and she was taking a nap. But the police, they rolled up on the car and she was in there asleep. She had stuff that was with her that was covered in blood. They found a knife that was also covered in blood. So Vivian is actually a very dumb criminal, which is what I want to talk about next. So of course they find her, they arrest her, they figure out what happened. She told them basically what happened. This lady picked me up. This lady told me where she stayed while we was riding. I came back later and murdered her. I don't like when people give people who so-called, because I understand some people have mental illness, but some people be using that stuff just to be bad people and get away with it. She was schizophrenic, Vivian was. So because she was schizophrenic, because she was mentally ill, they did not give her the death penalty, even though it was on the table. The reason why that's a sore spot for me is because I got a tight-knit family, and we have someone in our family that is always doing some BS. And it gets cast out, or they don't get punished or what have you because, oh, they got a mental illness. That's not an excuse. So what I ask my family, I say, so what happens when she shoots or, hurts or does something crazy to one of us? We just, oh, don't lock her up. She's mentally ill. I'm not with that. If you smart enough to hop in my car, ask me to take you somewhere, you smart enough to remember that I showed you my house, okay? She drove past the house, y'all. You can remember all of that. You smart enough to break in, was successful. You're smart enough to kill somebody. You're sane enough to stab somebody 90 times and steal $14,000. F your mental illness, okay? F it. If I could say that's how I feel about somebody in my own family, I know, like I said, sometimes it is an excuse or whatever, but I just don't see the logic in someone being able to complete a mission such as that. And then we say, oh, well, we can't give them this because they really didn't know what they was doing. They knew what they was doing when they was doing all that evil stuff. I'm not in support of that. So Miss Vivian is still on. She ain't on Miss Vivian, but y'all know what I mean. She's an older lady. She's sitting on death row in Illinois, just wasting taxpayers' money, eating every day, living, while Miss Lynn's family has to grieve her. A very senseless death. We're not even really sure what the motive is. If the motive was robbery, she probably could have just told that lady, like, hey, I know you helped me earlier, but I'm here to take your money. I need money. Or since the lady, Lynn, was so gullible and so nice to her, she probably could have just asked that lady for some money. She probably would have gave it to her. But that's not, how the story went. So to me, that is a serious horror story. We got to be careful out here, gang. You just got to use common sense sometimes. Rest in peace, Miss Lynn. Hate this happened to you, but unfortunately, cannot be picking up people out here. You most definitely can't tell them your address. So let me know what you think in the comments. This case is not widely known, which I think it should be, because we need to make people more aware that you can't, even if you got a good heart, you can't show that good heart to everybody. Everybody don't deserve your good heart. So I'm bringing awareness to it on my channel. Like, share, comment. Tell me what you think Miss Lynn could have done differently. Pretty obvious. And I will see y'all on the next one, gang.